2, 3, let's go!
Just in time for Valentine's Day. If you guys check below, you'll see that I have a coupon code where you guys can save some money off of this hair. So Supernova sent me 3 bundles and a frontal. The bundles are in the length 22, 22, and 20 inches. And the frontal is in the length 20 inches. Yeah, 20 inches. So, and it's in the style body wave. So I definitely constructed a wig with this hair. I'm not going to go into detail of how I constructed this wig, but I'm just going to briefly show you guys that I made the wig using a hot glue gun. So I simply started by gluing down the frontal onto the cap first, right? And I find it so much easier to use a hot glue gun, but once I glued down the frontal, I went ahead and I just laid down the bundles with the longest length on the bottom, and then I made my way up until, you know, I filled in all the gaps. And that's pretty much the gist of how I create my wigs. And lately I've only been using the hot glue gun because it takes up half the time that it normally makes to make a wig when you're sewing it. And also the glue is kind of stringy, but it absolutely does not get stuck in the hair, so it's an easy cleanup, and that's what I like about using the hot glue gun. So this is the finished unit, guys. I ended up using 2 bundles and a frontal, so it's still looking nice and full. The hair is nice and soft, and I'm loving the body wave. So I did do the elastic band method where I sewed the elastic band into the cap. Okay, so I just showed you the piece that I cut out there, the piece of the cap that I cut out there. So now I'm just using the hot comb, and this is just to move the hair out the way and blend the baby hair that was given with the rest of the wig, so I can go ahead and pluck my frontal. So I'm just plucking the frontal so that it looks more natural, and the frontal that they sent was very nice and full, so it's very easy.
Alright, so here is what the bundles from Supernova Hair looks like. This is what the frontal will look like when you receive it. When you are placing the frontal onto the wig cap, you want to make sure that you position it a little bit in front of the wig cap, and then go ahead and secure each side in the middle, and then the back middle, I guess. You'll see what I'm talking about in the video. So yeah, go ahead and secure that, and do not use the styrofoam heads. Those are way too small for anybody's head. I know I have a small head, and even though those are small for even my head, so I use a 22-inch wig block head that I got from I got it from Amazon. So it is very inexpensive. You guys know I'm cheap, so you guys know I'm not paying a whole lot of money for anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my thread and a curved needle, and I'll go ahead and do small stitches. The very first stitch, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the tip of the needle and then pull through a few times, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do very small stitches all the way across the frontal. So this is what the frontal should look like once you are finished sewing it down. And I'm going to go ahead and split it down the middle and braid it down on both sides just to get it out of the way, and so it won't be in my way when I am actually gluing the tracks to the wig cap. So now we're ready to adhere the bundles to the cap, and now I'm going to go ahead and shift the cap down and then adhere it with a T-pin. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the bundles and unravel them. Now these bundles I was really impressed with just because it doesn't have super long beards, and they actually came pretty thick to be 22 inches. You know how the longer the length, you usually don't get as much hair, but with this one I was impressed at how much hair was still in the 22 inches. Now I always use my mini hot glue gun and the hot glue sticks that I get from Dollar Tree, so super inexpensive and easy to do. I'm gonna go ahead and do just a line right across the back. I don't do anything on the band just because I like when the band is still pretty secure on my head, so I don't really put anything on there. Sometimes when you put glue on the band right at the nape, it doesn't stretch anymore for some reason. So I am going to do the fold over method. If you have any fallout at all, it literally dries, so it's super easy to just peel off once it dries, and it dries super quick as well. So yeah, you're kind of working pretty fast when you're doing this, but that's the only thing that I would say kind of get some getting used to. But yeah, just work pretty fast, and if you have to work in smaller sections, like just do just a little line or a small line, and then press down the tracks, then do that. But it's super easy to do. I love it. This is probably, you know, my #1 way of doing making wigs. I love making wigs on my sewing machine as well, but that takes time and a long time, to be just quite frank with y'all. I'd rather do it this way, honestly, especially when I'm making wigs for myself. So now that we're towards the top, and we're not doing the horseshoe motion while we are gluing the tracks, we're going to go straight across, and this is where I'm actually going to start cutting the wefts, because I actually want them to lay super duper flat in this area. So yeah, I encourage you all to just go ahead and cut the tracks on this part and just go straight across. It's literally so easy. So now we're coming towards the top. You want to just continue to do the exact same thing until you get to the frontal. And then you want to go ahead and just cut off that excess cap underneath. And now we are here to style the unit. So I had a different style in mind, and I wanted to do like a half up half down style, but yeah, I went ahead and decided against that. I'm going to go ahead and take my hot comb and I'm going to proceed to styling this unit. The hot comb just works the best for me when, you know, trying to lay and slay my wigs, my lace frontal wigs for that matter, because you really just want to make sure that these hairs are out of the way when you are wanting to glue your lace wig down. So I like to just go away from the face, and yeah, just to make sure that this hair lays as flat as possible to give you the most natural appearance.
So this beautiful hair from Supernova Hair.
Supernova Hair.
Supernova Hair.
From Supernova Hair.
In the house, bounce. Y'all already know what I'm about. The flow